It's almost a full-time thing for him, and he'll have moments where he's feeling terrific for a period of time, and then he'll have moments where he's just battling a little bit, or for reasons of health, for no other reason. So we just have to monitor it on a week-to-week basis with him. But there'll be no lack of wanting to get here, that's for sure.
And you've been down in the rooms.
Yes, I have.
So what was the atmosphere like down there when the players walked in after that fantastic victory?
Yeah, I think it's a funny thing in footy. There's only sort of two states of mind, and one's the winning and the other one's the misery. You know, and often, you know, as much as I understand how people get really disappointed when we don't play to what our own expectations are. And Jimmy used a little analogy at the start, or a story that at the start of the year. He said the game attracts unbelievably competitive people all the time, and everyone in this room is a really competitive person, and they're particularly competitive about their club, because I can say, and you know, with Alex or just about every aspect of your life's changed, but I bet you the one thing you haven't changed is the footy club you actually barrack for. And so it's just this deep sort of emotional attachment that people actually have to it. But never underestimate that same sense and that feeling from within either the playing group, the coaching group, you know, everyone in and around it. The key for us, and the challenge for us as a management group, is that we can see with far more clarity where we're actually taking it than what you actually do when you're just supporting in and around it. And so there's often a lot of noise in and around, you know, footy clubs, because with the winning and the misery, we've got an industry which is actually dedicated to misery, and that's the media. And so
those bastards from the media.
and we don't deny or try and antagonise that thing. We just understand how the thing actually works. And I've got the thing I've been probably proudest of in recent times has been the fact that we've shown good composure in often, you know, the first stages of some challenges. And I thought Dean himself has shown outstanding composure. People might feel a lot happier if he yelled and screamed and all that sort of stuff, but I actually really value his composure. And I think that's confidence you get from that, and that belief which is starting to grow is really so important when you've come from where we've come from. Up until today, we've won 12 games in 3 years. We can't actually move away from that. But I can assure you, we'll be looking at seasons where we've won that many games, quite quickly. That's where we're heading.
And the final question, I mean, so many people stood out today, but there were two that stood out from either spectrum of the Melbourne Football Club. First of all was James McDonald at the older spectrum, and then Jack Grimes in that last quarter. So talk about
Jack. I'll talk about Jack first, because I think it's a long time since we've seen a more composed and complete 15-game AFL player, and that's in every way. He's a terrific young guy, but he downplays his own place in all of this. He has something special to all of us here, because he actually grew up as a Melbourne supporter as well. So for him it's actually it's quite personal, I think, and we've quite deliberately personalised the challenge in and around the club by reintroducing and introducing Melbourne people back to our club. And I like to see myself as one of those, as a Melbourne person coming home, if you like. And I know that's the case certainly with Jim, guys like Don McClarty, Chris Connolly, definitely. Those types of people in and around our football club. The first two guys I